Hi, family. Let me grab another video here and let you know what's going on in our neck of the woods, as I like to give a little piece of what's going on all over the world. But this one here, you really can't make this stuff up. See, you see, when we as black people trying to come together as one, they always got to stop it. Now, when other people or other nationalities are coming together, it's cool. It's all right, you know. But as soon as we try to come together in unity as one and do things to help ourselves, they always got something to say. I wonder why is that. But like I said before in other videos, we are the original. So anytime we get rid of the original, the copycat seems to exist no more. But that's not a talk for another video. That is also said many times ago. That anytime we get rid of the original, the copy cannot seem to survive. But anyway, I can give you a little clip here on this guy, my brother here, about Whole Foods. And the video actually speaks for itself. Kind of make you think for you can't make this stuff up. But you see, the thing about it is everything is falling apart in our favor. And they don't want that. No, they don't. As long as it's coming together, help black people or make black people better, stronger, more united, they don't want that. And they will do anything possible to stop it. But like I said before, folks, it ain't gonna happen. This is our time, and it's not gonna happen in their favor. Don't care what they do. Not gonna happen. We're going to live in health, prosperity, financial freedom, happiness. We can give thanks and praises and gratitude. We can live deliciously, as my mom Panic would say. We would live deliciously. So, folks, check this clip out. The clip speaks for itself. But they can't stop it. They'll do anything to stop it. It ain't going to work. Here we go, folks.
Black Lives Matter shirts. We have the full exposure here. Following multiple Whole Food employees in various states being fired for wearing B.L.M apparel, a lawsuit might establish a free speech like
I do not own the copyrights to this video. This video is for educational purposes only. I do not own the copyrights to this video. It's for educational purposes only. Here we go.
Support of the George Floyd protest in 2020, workers across the country were sent home for wearing Black Lives Matter shirts. All right. By fall of 2020, various workers across the country had racked up a bunch of attendance infractions for these enforced absences. And then they were fired. All told, Whole Foods terminated workers in at least 6 states for wearing B.L.M apparel, according to a complaint brought by the National Labor Relations Board, the federal body that adjudicates violations of workplace law. The NLRB officials are now prosecuting Whole Foods, seeking a change in policy and reinstatement for the workers. Let's put up the general counsel. NLRB's top prosecutor, general counsel, Jennifer Abruzzo, is eager to litigate. In about a year on the job, she challenged decades of policy in her office, has prosecuted cases against a series of big names, including Google, Starbucks, Home Depot, and the New York Times. In several cases, Amazon.com, Inc. Proper, each denied wrongdoing. So Whole Foods not only denies wrongdoing, is also effectively putting B.L.M on trial. Let me give you the background to that. At one point, the president, Donald Trump, former president, referred to Black Lives Matter itself, and quote, a symbol of hate, he said. And like it or not, a significant number of former presidents' supporters share his view. Company attorney Michael Farrell said during his opening statement at the NLRB trial in Boston this spring. Yes, Farrell said Whole Foods believes Black Lives Matter, but B.L.M movement is controversial. Its protests have been marked by looting and violence, and the company had good reason to worry that stores would become dangerous.
Looting and violence. What was this country built on? Was it not looting and violence and stealing? Aha, and the list goes on.
If workers were allowed to show their support on the job. So literally simply saying Black Lives Matter, which the company says they agree with by way of this attorney. They're saying, Black lives do matter, but just don't say it somewhere. You can't say it. You can't wear a T-shirt that says it. Please don't have a mug that says it because that's too controversial. All right. Other motives for why they decided to oppose the apparel. An internal email unearthed in the case of Just Whole Foods wasn't just worried about political conflict or shirtless staffers. In one message to managers, a higher up wrote that they could not allow workplace B.L.M insignia because it was opening the door for union activity. Yep, there you have it. Union activity. Oh my gosh. Black people organized. That's what they are afraid of. And their allies who understand the reality of what the movement of Black lives is about. It's about fairness, equity. That's what it's about. And they get it. You see, the higher ups get that Black Lives Matter is not just a movement about Black people doing rallies or protests. It's a movement about transforming and transitioning policy to create equitable work environments as well. They made the connection. They are afraid of that because it impacts their bottom line. Ramifications, if the NLRB wins, is this: a sweeping decision in the Whole Foods workers' favor could help empower a much wider swath of U.S. employees to sound off about issues such as how their employers treat customers or the ethics of their work. This will go a long way toward replacing the status quo, which generally executives speak and workers listen, with something closer to a phenomenon Bezos and other bosses have long said they champion: free speech. And should the attorney win a bunch of her cases, she could also make it a lot easier for workers to strike, picket, and organize with or without a union. Isn't that something, Attorney Lawrence, that we got an email and they say, it's not just about the Black Lives thing. That's what we're going to say to the public. We're going to tell the public, oh, it's controversial and it makes things unsafe and, it's a conflict. And it's really about the policy behind the movement. They don't want that in the workplace. Interesting. Thoughts here?
They are without a doubt telling on themselves. Yeah. The reality is that they do not want to empower their workforce. And we get to see this with John Mackey. He is the CEO of Whole Foods. And just a few days ago, he had talked about how socialists are taking over. And he meant that by way of people having discussions about gun control in our society. And he made some other comments that really show he is completely and totally out of touch. But it really just speaks to the management, the leadership there, where the goal is to continue to keep their workforce oppressed, under their thumb, and without power and control.
True.
And the thing is it kind of actually falls in line with their parent company, Amazon. But that's just my thought.
And the South is known for that, paying people $2.46 per hour, and they're supposed to depend on tips to make up the rest of the money to pay their bills, their house, their apartment, or their car insurance. They're paying, and that I know for a fact, because people are like, well, they won't call on names here. They get paid $2.46 an hour. And they have to depend on tips to make the money up to pay. It's ridiculous. It's what they call modern day slavery. There we go.
But I definitely do very much encourage people to move forward with unionization if it's necessary in order for you to be heard, to get living wages, and to get safe working conditions, because this capitalistic machine will crush you.
Damn right. And here's the other thing. That same CEO of Whole Foods also complained that he can't keep workers. He literally made that complaint in the same breath. He can't recruit workers. He can't keep workers. And he called millennials lazy. No, sir. Your company, your agency refuses to treat people the way they deserve to be treated. That's your issue. Staring you in the face.
Let me say this, folks. And I said it before, the couple of people at some stores they went to. If you pay the people down here at least 12 to 15 bucks an hour, you will give them an incentive to work. But when you're paying people $2.46, $2.86 per hour, people gonna quit. They're gonna work 2 or 3 days and quit. They ain't having no incentive to work. So you gotta, and you keep saying people don't want to work. People want to work, but you can't pay people $2 an hour and expect people to pay. And a lot of folks don't even tip those people when they go to restaurants. So a lot of times they don't even get no money to bring home $10. You need to pay people at least $15 an hour and give people incentive to work. Anyway, that's a whole different video, but you get the point. I'm out of here, man. Peace out. One love.